Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this session on how we are harnessing the power of artificial intelligence and APIs to reimagine guest experiences. Let me introduce myself. My name is Weir. I am a Senior Director of Product Management in Oracle Hospitality, and I am responsible for all integrations and strategies, products around integrations and APIs here within Oracle Hospitality. I've been in integration pretty much my entire career. It's been my bread and butter for a while, and still loving it and kicking it. So you probably, or you may not know about Oracle Hospitality. So let me just very briefly describe to you what this is, what we do. We manage about 40,000 hotels worldwide, from all ranges, from luxury to budget or resorts or full service, even ski resorts, you name it. We are there. Of the 40,000 hotels that we manage, which translates to about 4.5 million rooms overall, 5,000 of those are in the cloud, in the new version of the product. We call it Opera Cloud, and we're transitioning them to cloud very, very fast. Most importantly, especially for this session, we handle about 3,500 vendor integrations, which is humongous, and we operate in about 218 countries, and the largest hotel is more than 6,000 rooms. We have many products in the Oracle Hospitality segment, from the well-known property management system, our central reservation platform, which is central reservations, is just been recently released. Point of sale, sales and events, loyalty. However, today the main focus is the Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform, is how we exposed API capabilities and offer self-service capabilities to our vendor community in order to integrate. Just to very briefly describe what this product is and what it does, there are 4 key attributes that really make this product what it is. Number 1 is self-service. So our users can go and get access to this product through just shop.oracle.com. Just a few clicks, registration, and they get access to a sandbox and guides and examples on how to call our more than 3,000 APIs, which leads to the next point. It's an open architecture. And by open architecture, I mean that every single API that's used by the user interface of our products are actually exposed, meaning that we have a lot of capabilities out there for customers and vendors to integrate. In fact, it's about 3,500 capabilities, and we have many more API capabilities coming to market. It has a very nice and modern engagement model. We have a Slack community where vendors and customers alike can interact. We have a very streamlined support model where it makes it easy to raise issues or get help from us. We completely removed the certification fees. If you know Oracle Hospitality in the past, it was very cumbersome. It would take like 6 months just to build an integration. Now we know that some vendors and customers are able to build integrations in weeks, some in days, which is it's a complete transformation of where we were before. And then it's a win-win-win model. Customers that buy our SaaS product, Opera Cloud, get this platform without any fees. They don't have to pay for integrations. And vendors, on the other hand, that are benefiting from the information and capabilities that we offer through the platform to sell software to the hotel, pay a very small fee per call. But because we have the largest, the fastest growing customer base out there in the cloud, and the largest customer base by far, they also win because they can advertise their solution in our marketplace, and customers can see them, and they can engage and create value for the guests. And we, as the provider of the platform, also benefit by maintaining this ecosystem and providing all these capabilities to our audiences. But today, I'm not here to talk about everything that we can support within the integration platform. We support many, many use cases, from distribution connectivity to hotel operations, sustainability, digital check-in, etc. But there's one thing that's really changing the world, and I'm sure you know what I'm going to say next, and that is large language models and artificial intelligence. And this is truly transforming the way hospitality and guests traditionally have gone through journeys. I would say that is dramatic, and that's what I really want to like step now and walk you through a little bit. If you think about a journey for the guests in the past, it entails, or I would say in many cases today still, it entails you going to Google and looking for some hotel room or some location, and then you probably have an online travel agent of choice, like let's say, for example, Booking.com or Expedia or even Airbnb. There are many out there, and if you are very familiar with a certain brand and you know the rates and you know how to search in more detail, you're probably going to book direct because normally you get a better rate and you get the points and whatnot. But all in all, I mean, we all travel. I travel myself. Sometimes I have like 15 browser windows open just to find a room, which is, it's not the best experience. Let's call it that way. How is AI really transforming that journey? Well, I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT, for example. They have this now concept of plugins. And with plugins, what you're basically able to do is you're able to connect, right, to a source as part of a conversation. So what it does is understand the context. It understands the intent of your prompt, of what you're asking. And then based on that, it can use a plugin, let's say like the Expedia plugin or the Booking plugin or the Airbnb plugin in order to, for example, search a room, okay? That means that not only you are able to maintain a conversation as if you're calling a travel agent, a human travel agent, but then the sources of information are really unlimited. And of course, ChatGPT is just one. It's the most famous one because, it's, let's say, the boss right now. It was the first one, let's say, that gained that popularity, but there are many out there as well that are really, really catching up fast. Like, for example, Cohere, which is backed by us, Oracle, and we're really excited about it. But then you have like Google Bard, you have Hugging Face, you have Claude 2, and many more on its way. So what that means is that these are really becoming sources of booking, sources of potential availability searches, and we really need to acknowledge the importance of that and act on it. And just to bring this into perspective a bit more, the plugins in ChatGPT were announced in 14th of October this year. And at the time, I think 3 weeks after they launched, I checked their application, and they had about 300 plugins, 250 actually. Today, they have over 900. So in average, they're adding about 250 new plugins every month. And of all the plugins available, 2 are actually related to hospitality. In fact, when I did it back then, there were like 4 related to hospitality. Almost half of the most popular plugins were related to hospitality. So these plugins are really being used in the context of travel. And why wouldn't you? I mean, as I said before, the experience in the past, or let's say right now, for many, it's very cumbersome. You need to have many windows. Many times you end up calling a travel agent, and it's complicated. It can be complicated, and sometimes you do it, and then you even get the wrong rate. Now with these plugins, which sometimes are referred to as AI apps, there's an opportunity to dramatically transform that journey. And that leads to what we're doing in Oracle Hospitality. Why is this important to us? As I said before, and as I implied before, for us, these AI agents, these public AI agents are another channel. And for us, if you're not familiar with the terminology, a channel is something like, for example, a Booking.com or Expedia or Trivago, or websites built by the hotel that can accept bookings and availabilities. For us, all of those are channels. These AI public agents are also channels. Why are they also channels? Because you can make bookings, you can search availability in here. However, if you've played with this before, you will know that it's not just as easy as exposing an API to AI. In fact, these APIs needs to be tailored for AI. They need to be very simple. They need to be focused almost as if you're talking to a human. So even though we have about 3,000 APIs already exposed, the truth is that they are not ready for AI. And that is why we partner with PolyAPI. PolyAPI is a startup that is truly revolutionizing how APIs and AI come together. And with PolyAPI, we're really able to very quickly pre-train AI with our APIs by just using Postman. So we can use Postman, make a call, and by means of observability, PolyAPI is able to learn the API and then help implement an integration against that API. And then most importantly, we can easily create customizations on those APIs that are tailored for AI. And then we can rapidly create a plugin that can be used to, for example, connect to ChatGPT, but many other AIs. In fact, many customers will say, I don't want to use this public AI. I don't want my information to be accessed by everyone. I want my own. No problem. So we can use this stuff. We can use this technology in order to make that easy and support our customers and partners with their needs around AI integration. Now, we're not just really talking about it, we're doing about it. We've already built few prototypes. We have many customers already engaged and interested in doing this, delivering this sort of AI guest experience. I just want to show you briefly one of the prototypes that I built myself, and it didn't take that long. What I'm going to do right now, if you're familiar with ChatGPT, I'm just selecting a plugin, which is our OHI plugin. And I'm just going to ask a question like, for example, hey, I'm in London. Any rooms for the night? Let's say close to Buckingham Palace, walking distance. If you know, AI normally wouldn't connect to the internet to do a search. It would just use the data it has from 2021. In this case, it made an API call to our APIs through Poly, and it gave me two options. Obviously, these are not real hotels; these are our sandboxes, but it was able to do it fairly quickly. And it's also asking me if I want to, search room availability, which obviously I want to do. I'm asking for what rooms are available for tonight, and by tonight I mean today. And then I'm also doing something that you would normally do with an agent, which is my budget is $200, for example. And the idea here is that I don't need to browse through pages and pages of options. I just want tailored options for me. It was able to do that quite easily. But what if I want to keep asking questions, like, for example, what recommendations do you have, or is there any specific room that suits my needs, or whatnot? All the options are there. So I'm able to ask those questions. As you notice, I even have a typo. It doesn't matter. AI has this large language model have no problem with the typo. And now even, I'm able to identify a room, but I'm able to also book it. And this is where majority of plugins out there in travel don't do, because we have all these APIs already and we're able to easily tailor them. We're able to go beyond the normal experience. We're able to do things, transactions. We're able to support the guest, not just for looking for a room, but to checking in or renting a bike or buying a ticket or whatnot. Now, what's happening right now is super important. I'm not entering the details directly in ChatGPT. And we did this on purpose because, as you know, many customers will be concerned about data privacy. In this case, we implemented, actually, this is ADN. It's an ADN solution, pay by link. We also use all the guest details in a different page other than ChatGPT securely without having to enter anything private in ChatGPT. Okay, so I've done that. I'm able to tell AI that I've done it now, and you can see now it created a confirmation number from Opera Cloud, our property management system. And in addition, I just want to check in because I'm already on my way to London. I want to check in order to just walk into my room, for example. And I'm also able to do that. So you can see that the possibilities are really, whatever you can imagine. And I'm just going to show you that this is real, that I didn't just, mock something. I actually did create a reservation, and I did it directly against Opera Cloud, and I just used Poly to tailor my API so AI could talk to them. As you can see, Harry Potter booked something in Sandbox 1, which is great. And yeah, but let me take a step back and show you how did we do this, okay? There are four main components here in play. The first one are the APIs that are being called. In this case, we, Oracle, pre-trained many of the Oracle Hospitality Opera Cloud APIs, which we expose in the Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform. But Poly had already pre-trained a few calls with Adyen for pay by links, and they also had pre-trained some calls for distance matrix and distance calculations using Google Maps. So as I already kind of implied, the first step is to pre-train Poly, so Poly knows what specific calls it supports. And when you pre-train Poly with these calls, it automatically creates libraries that you can embed in your code. And once you can embed these libraries in your code, you can also ask AI to help you write the code because it knows intimately all of your APIs. As I said before, it's not as easy as just exposing your APIs to AI. You really need to tailor them. So they're very simple and very tailored for the AI experience that you want to deliver. Again, we use Poly to create what they refer to as custom functions. We use that with the help of AI. We ask questions about how can I make a hotel availability, and they make a booking, and AI really helpful with that. And then once we constructed all the custom functions that really match the different type of conversations we want to support with the guests through AI, we're able to generate plugins against AI. I just showed an example of ChatGPT, but it could be, as I said before, any. And I just want to show, in addition, how this works from a development perspective. As I said before, you may be using VS Code. VS Code has an assistant for Poly, which takes advantage of the train functions in AI, so it can assist you in writing the code. Think of it as a co-pilot on steroids. And then through the development process, you import libraries. In this case, it's TypeScript libraries that you import in your code. So you don't have to really know the API spec and then use a client like Asios to create a JSON model and all the steps that goes in doing that. You can automatically create a library, import a library, and that library already has all the types, the request types and response types that you used when training that specific API and that you used for creating your custom function. So it becomes really, really simple to use the APIs. And this is pretty much the architecture that we created. And I'm in the process of making this publicly available in GitHub, so others can also play with this and use our APIs and innovate with this stuff. And just as a means, so you get an idea on how easy it is to train Poly, I'm just going to use Postman right now to call a mock API. You probably know HTTP Bean, anything endpoint. Just make a call and get the same request in the response. You can see here that Poly has been trained by observability. And once Poly is trained by observability, as I said before, AI learns it, and I can ask questions to the assistant to help me implement that API. I need to just do a few steps. One is reloading the module so it knows that a new function has been trained, and then I can just ask any question like, hey, how do I post a hello world using HTTP Bean? Again, I just did it. You saw it, and I'm able to copy and paste this into the prompt, and hopefully it work. I'm sure it'll work. Yeah, and that's it pretty much. Obviously, there were a few more steps in my journey because I had more functions to call. Okay, so here's the call. Just 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, you can see that is working fine. So although I had to do more steps because I have more functions, in reality, the process is quite simple. I can then wrap this up into a custom function and deploy it very, very quickly. This is it for me. I hope you got a glimpse on what we're doing in Oracle Hospitality and how we're innovating with our 3,000 APIs exposing the Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform, OHIP, and PolyAPI. And that's it. Thank you very much. And I want to hand over to Jake, who's going to walk you through what Poly is and what it can do. Jake, over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Luis, and thanks everyone for watching. I know we only have a few minutes left, so my goal here is to introduce myself and the company and just share a little bit more about the mission behind Poly. But my name is Jake Dreyfuss. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Poly. We're a team that's spread throughout the world. However, we're based in Denver, Colorado, in the United States. Luis, can you flip the next slide for me? So PolyAPI is, like Luis was saying, we're a new API consumption platform. Our team comes from MuleSoft, comes from Apigee, comes from Oracle. I come from Salesforce, and we're all bringing together our collective, institutional knowledge to bring this to fruition. We're super thrilled to be also backed by Ross Mason, who is the founder of MuleSoft, as we look here to really shake things up in the API consumption space. And we're excited to announce, at API Days here, if you're watching this, we just announced this live in London. But we just launched our self-service for our first GA release, and I'll have details how you can get into that in the next slide here. So we're super excited about that. We'll popping some champagne back at home. Just for those who are curious, Lewis was describing, a few of our use cases, but just to kind of paint a broad picture, and of course we can get into more specifics one-on-one. We have a couple main core use cases here. We primarily want to just help enterprises build their API integrations and do it quickly and seamlessly and easily. Help API consumers discover and use their APIs more quickly. And of course, then help those enterprises leverage AI within their applications, just like what Lewis was describing. As much as some of these organizations want to do so, there might be some cleanup and some things we can do to help them really, not only get there quicker, but then make it a sustainable model moving forward to be able to build upon. So as Lewis was saying, Poly can learn any public or private API, and that could be done through the observability Lewis was demonstrating. But just know that out of the box now with our GA, Poly knows functions from the following organizations and applications. So this is just our initial launch, many more to come, but we wanted to make sure for the folks jumping into our GA and really trying, jumping in and playing with it, that there are things outside the box, coming out of the box that can instantly be used. But just to reiterate, it can learn any public or private API, and it's super simple and easy. We can demonstrate that one-on-one. So, I know we're just coming up on the end of time here. If you want to jump right in, if you're that type of person who wants to jump in and start playing with the GA, absolutely go for it. You can head over to polyapi.io and check it out. And of course, if you have any questions, my name is Jake Dreyfuss. My email here is at the bottom, jake@polyapi.io. And we can set up a private one-on-one conversation to talk more about your business, your use cases, and kind of hold your hand as we walk into the next phase here and launching and integrating with your current platform. So really appreciate you taking the time to see what we're doing. We're really excited to share with the world, and we're excited to be able to announce our GA here at API Days London. So thanks for the opportunity. And Lewis, of course, thank you for presenting what you've been working on. You've been an amazing partner. We're excited to continue down that path with you and many more design partners who really want to, shake things up and move faster. So thanks.